Welcome to Board Game Archaeology, where we play time-worn games from the past. I'm Hunter.
I'm Rob.
And today we're playing the Incredible Hulk game with the Fantastic Four.
Yep, from 1978, we have the Incredible Hulk and the Fantastic Four. This game is made for 7 to 12-year-olds. Again, the age thing is always weird to me, and it's for 2 to 4 players.
The goal of the game is to be the first player to collect all 4 corners of the Dr. Banner face cards.
Yep, the game is the Hulk was created, Dr. Banner turned into Hulk, and the only way to cure him is to find the right cards to do it. The game comes with a spinner, and the spinner has the Hulk in it. And one cool thing is they give you 2 spinning arms just in case you want the same arm. Maybe if you goof one up. One thing I don't like about it, I'll talk about later, is the card itself. It also comes with the Fantastic Four characters and the Hulk character. The Hulk has its own deck of cards that are, anytime you spin the Hulk, you get that. And anytime you land on a draw, it has draw cards. 6 cards on each one, including multiple Dr. Banner cards, and then some special cards, like safety cards.
Yeah, and essentially how play starts is you spin the Hulk, and whoever gets the highest gets to go first, goes clockwise from there. People choose out which of the 4 people they want to be. And from there, when you roll or when you spin, you go, if you get a number, not only do you go that number, but the Hulk also goes that number. The Hulk is kind of like our other episode, Gremlins, a character that is shared between all players. And so if I got a 4 and I was Sue, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then also, because the Hulk starts in this corner, and go 1, 2, 3, 4 to maybe potentially block out the Human Torch from coming this way.
He's like a non-player character.
Yeah, and if you get on the Hulk, you have to take one of the Hulk cards. And this can be a lot of different things, but like moving the Hulk to any empty space. But sometimes it'll allow you to just go to a draw pile and take from a card. Hulk cards can be very good.
Yep, and the Hulk cards, you can only have 4 in your hand. So when you get the 4th one, you got to set it on top of any of the other ones. So if you know what it is, and that's one thing when we first played it, we were playing it, building the thing up, so we both knew what was there. But I think if I was going to play and try to win, I wouldn't show you my cards on that one.
Yeah, if you're missing that chin, you're not going to just want to discard it in an obvious way where your opponent can see, oh, I need to go there.
Because I think that's what was happening, because I had like 5 chins or whatever like that, and did that. And when you land on the Hulk, when you're anywhere on there, is when you land him. The one thing that the first conversation we had when we were playing the game was, where on the Hulk's hand do you really count? Because it's a fist, right? So there's this one knuckle here in the back. And that was what we decided was our spinner right there. And the card, like I said earlier, the card is a little warped. So without it being on the right kind of thing, you land on the Hulk like every other time. So you're picking cards up. So that's one thing I think it could be designed a little bit better. I might actually make a 3D print. It's something that this would slide into to make it nice and tight. But you want to make it so all the numbers are represented, not just the Hulk.
Yeah, it is funny because it's something that in the written rules of the game in the board or in the cover, it even says like you got to decide collectively what you consider the point of the Hulk spinner to be, like whether it be the knuckle, and that if people can't decide which number it is, that you should just respin, because even they were like, you decide.
So yeah, with the Hulk being a non-player character or a multiplayer character, I guess you're more apt. But it's funny because this really should be a co-op game. The Fantastic Four would not be fighting against each other, dropping the Hulk on them so they have to get rid of cards and blocking them from succeeding and changing them back in the Hulk. This is a team. This is a family. These guys fought together. So the game itself feels like it should be a co-op game, but is nowhere near a co-op game. So for me, it was, as a comic book guy, we owned a store back in the old days and worked in comics a long time. It was just felt wrong. It was like, if that's the case, at least put in the instructions that the Hulk goes towards the closest person, or something that made it so it wasn't on Sue Storm attacking Reed Richards, or Sue attacking her brother or Reed attacking or Ben or whatever, right? So that was the weirdest thing about having the Hulk be this one character that you can use to block so you can win from your team. Maybe Johnny would do that because you can kind of be Johnny, he's kind of a
Yeah.
Johnny.
But I was surprised in the rules when it's like there are some safe places like the draw spaces, and I believe when the person is in one of their own spaces, they're also safe. But when someone's out and about, for some reason, again, Mr. Fantastic sees Johnny. He lands on his spot and he
Takes a card.
yeah, he takes a card. And when I read that in the rules, I was just like,
Would Reed really Reed? Well, Reed might do it because he's a scientific mind and he's not. He
just
doesn't
testing
care,
something,
right?
I guess.
But it is. It's like you're pitting the Fantastic Four against each other to make the Hulk turn back into Dr. Banner. So I don't think the story is really tight on this one. Maybe they needed better writers.
Yeah, maybe the game was made and they decided they had the Hulk was something that needed to be made at that time. So the game was made first kind of mentality, like with Gremlins.
Yeah, Milton Bradley had the copyright, and they needed to use it really quick, and they needed to make a game. So they put all 5 people in one game, and then made the Hulk kind of a pawn to the good guys. I don't know. It's weird.
But I do like the art. It's fun. It's very simple, like in display, but it wasn't that hard to pick up. Some things are worded strange in the instructions, but in general, we kind of picked it up pretty quickly.
We did pick it up really quickly, and again, it's another one of those awesome games where all the instructions are right here, and it's got some good inside artwork too, which you could put on a cool bookcase or something if you wanted to. Yeah, the game was playable and it was fun, but we kept during the whole thing. I kept having issues with that one thing about going against it. I think they should make these like the Leader and Abomination, and make it like 4 villains of the Hulk. And then, maybe I should do that. I could just do that, and then it would make a lot more sense. And we'd be attacking each other, trying to kill the Hulk out, or change him back to Banner to kill him. Because you ain't going to kill him as the Hulk. He's the Hulk. He just gets more mad.
Yeah, something a little more cohesive than where the Fantastic Four are vying to like be Dr. Banner's best friend. Like whoever does it is like the one who gets him back. And like I just find again, maybe we're just kind of fixating, but it was something that was slightly distracting for me for a while.
Well, it was because you're taking heroes. You're taking a family of heroes and pitting them against each other. So otherwise, the game mechanics played really well. You'd go to the draw, you'd find your piece, and you had to kind of go all over the board. At first, I thought maybe you could just hang around one, but you didn't because you were rolling numbers that were taking you away, and you didn't want the Hulk to be blocking you, and you can't go past him. So if the Hulk is here, you can't pass him. You can pass any other character, but you can't pass the Hulk, and you can't jump over him. So there was one time when we were playing where I got to move Hulk like here, and I knew that Hunter needed to come out, so I just blocked him with the Hulk. And that kind of worked. But yeah, the mechanics are there. The story is a little weak, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. The artwork, not Kirby. Herb Trimp, maybe. I'm not sure. Some of it seems standard, maybe kind of like Gil Kane or Prez drew this one from something I've seen like The Thing before, and in different locations. Or maybe he was in one of the stamps, the Marvel stamps that used to be in the comic books that we all look for to see if they're missing when we're buying collectible comics.
Well, thanks for watching.
Yeah, and if you want to see more about us, you can check us out at toyarchaeology.com. You can find us on Facebook at Toy Archaeology, and I will share you a link down below. And you can also like us and share our YouTube channel with your friends and family.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.